While the rest of the world splits the year into 4 seasons, Japan quietly runs on 72. Yes, 72. And once you learn how it works, you can never unsee it. Centuries ago, Japan borrowed a calendar from China that divided the year into 24 segments. But the Japanese decided that still wasn't precise enough for how nature actually behaves. So they sliced each of those 24 pieces into 3, creating 72 tiny seasons, each one lasting only about 5 days. And these aren't vague labels. Each microseason has a poetic name describing exactly what is happening in the natural world that week. There is a season literally called East Wind Melts the Ice. Another is the Hawk Learns to Fly. One is simply the maple leaves and ivy turn yellow. In early spring, one 5-day window is named the Bush Warbler starts singing. When those birds actually begin to call, the season is considered fulfilled. There's a season for when the frogs start croaking, one for when the worms surface, and one for the exact days rice seedlings are planted. Others describe insects. Rotten grass becomes fireflies. The praying mantis is born. Ancient people believed fireflies literally sprouted from decaying summer grass. This system trained an entire culture to notice the smallest shifts, the first cicada, the first cold wind, the day the sparrows start building nests. And that obsession with noticing didn't stay in old calendars. It leaked into absolutely everything modern Japan does. Take Japanese sweets, called wagashi. Their shape and color change with the micro-season, a pink blossom in spring, a cool blue stream in summer, a golden leaf in autumn. A traditional restaurant will swap its entire menu, dishware, and even flower arrangements to match the exact time of year. Serving the wrong leaf could be seen as clumsy. But nothing shows this national obsession better than one thing every spring: the cherry blossom forecast. Every year, Japan's weather agencies and TV stations track a wave of pink blooms sweeping north across the country, day by day, like a storm front made of flowers. It's called the cherry blossom front. Forecasters predict, sometimes to the exact day, when each city's trees will open and when they'll hit full bloom. In some cities, officials watch specific official sample trees. When a designated number of blossoms open on that one tree, spring is formally declared. If tiny 5-day seasons and flower forecasts are already blowing your mind, subscribe now. We post delightful Japan stories like this every single day, and you won't want to miss what's next. Once the blossoms open, the whole country celebrates with hanami, flower viewing. People reserve patches of park at dawn, laying out blue tarps for evening picnics under the petals. The magic is that it barely lasts. Cherry blossoms bloom for only about 1 week before the petals fall like snow. The beauty is precious precisely because it's fleeting. The Japanese even have a word for those swirling falling petals, hanafuki, meaning flower blizzard. Watching them drift is considered its own quiet joy. And business follows the seasons perfectly. For a few weeks, everything turns pink: blossom lattes, blossom chocolates, blossom chips, even blossom soda appears and then vanishes. In autumn, the whole ritual flips. Crowds chase the red leaf front south instead, a practice called mamajigiri, literally hunting for maple leaves. Winter brings its own micro-seasons. The cold sets in, the deer shed their antlers, and the delightful salmon gather and swim upstream. This all traces back to a culture that treated paying attention as an art form. Noticing a season change wasn't boring, it was practically poetry. Today you can even download apps that tell you which of the 72 micro-seasons you're currently living in, complete with the food and flowers of that week. Chefs talk about shun, the peak few days when a fish or vegetable tastes its absolute best. Eating something in its shun is a small act of celebration. Even the tea ceremony bends to the calendar, changing the scroll on the wall and the sweets served depending on which micro-season is passing. The result is a country where a 5-year-old and an 80-year-old might both pause to say the same thing. It's that time of year again. While much of the world rushes past the calendar, Japan built a system to slow down and savor it, 5 delicate days at a time. So next spring, when you see those pink trees online, remember, somewhere in Japan, a forecaster called it weeks ago, and a whole nation was waiting. 72 seasons. A forecast for flowers. An entire culture built around noticing the world quietly changing. Maybe that's the real secret Japan is trying to teach us, that if you slow down enough, Every 5 days can feel like a brand new world.